Some breaking news that's coming in. This is going to be about the markets. Now, while America is deciding on its leadership, U.S. market indices have opened in the green. BSE Sensex opens up at over 200 points up. Nifty 50 is opening over 24,250 points. All right, small correction there. This is the Indian markets that we are talking about when the Nifty 50 opens over 24,250 points. The dollar is interestingly seeing a maximum gain since March 2020. Bitcoin is seeing a record rise amid the U.S. polls. We're going to be crossing over to my colleague Sumita, who joins us at this point to get us more on this. Sumita, let us know about what's taking place with the markets. It seems to be a good response to what's taking place in the United States.
Yes, in fact, it's a sea of green so far as the Indian markets are concerned. Barring just a few factors, most of the indices and most of the sectors are currently showing in the green. In fact, the indices opened in green today. Sensex was up nearly 200 points up. The Nifty was trading above the 24,250 mark. But as of now, if I refresh the page, the Nifty 50 is trading at 24,372 mark. And right now, as I'm speaking, it's 0.70% up and now at 24,382 points. So it's well on its way to reach the 24,400 mark. Meanwhile, the Sensex is also up 0.69%. If we talk about the Nifty Bank, that seems to be a big gainer that is crossing that 52,337 mark. But the important point here to note is that most of the indices that we are seeing are in the green. So some of the top gainers include TCS, HCL Tech, all of these IT companies, pharma companies that are likely to see an impact of the possibility of a Trump a win in the United States. All of these are trading in the green. Let's also take a look at the advanced decline ratio, which essentially means that how many stocks are trading in the green and how many of them are trading in the red. And the advanced decline ratio is in favor of the advances, which essentially means that over 2,000 stocks are currently trading in the green and 447 stocks are currently in the red. So that's as far as the market setup is concerned. Now, it's very important to know that we started seeing green in the markets yesterday after many days of correction. There was, of course, a lot of anxiety also building up over the U.S. elections. And, of course, China has been a big factor. The FIIs, or the foreign institutional investors, have been putting in their monies after China announced their stimulus measures, moving away from India. However, many experts who we've spoken to, they say that sort of correction that we saw in the Indian markets in the past few days was only temporary. And, of course, there is a possibility that there could be some sort of volatility, till the time the trends become clear, the election results are out so far as the U.S. election is concerned. But overall, market experts and economists say that Trump is going to be beneficial for India, as was Biden, because the bilateral relation between the two countries is on solid footing. Meanwhile, Trump is going to be, is expected to slap reciprocal tariffs. So that's a key concern. As far as China policy is concerned of the Trump administration, that is going to benefit India because of the China plus one factor. And we've seen companies like Apple and others have only increased their investments in the country because they want to diversify their supply chain. So that's as far as the market setup is concerned. And of course, volatility is something that we can expect in the near term, but in the long term, according to what market experts have told us, that it is going to be on solid footing. And of course, markets are going to recoup back in case there's a correction in the near term.
Sumita, hi, good morning. Shreya here. Just like you told us about how markets have opened, they've opened in green. I, want to understand from you clearly then, there was very less anxiety as far as the Trump re-election is concerned. There have been concerns about how Donald Trump being re-elected would, impact India and impact the businesses and the markets here. Clearly, that is something that has already been factored in, can we say, or, the markets have been ready, whatever the result is?
Well, we saw, Shreya, the VIX was rising, or the volatility index was rising. So there was a fair bit of, anxiety so far as the outcome of the US election is concerned. But overall, if we see the specifics, well, there is a little bit of concern and anxiety over reciprocal tariffs. Like I mentioned, Trump has called India tariff king, and the fact that we impose a lot of tariffs. But at the same time, Trump has also mentioned that he's a great friend of the Prime Minister. And of course, during the Trump administration, India did enjoy a decent relationship with the United States. And we've only seen momentum build up as far as that relationship is concerned, whether it is related to the ISET program, the technology partnership, the defense partnership, the AI partnership now. All of those are also developing. Number two could be he will, of course, look for reducing corporate taxes. Now, if he reduces corporate taxes, that will give a bull market, that will give a fillip to the bull market. Number 3 point, we'll have to interestingly see what his stance is going to be on Fed's rate cut stance, because the Fed is on a rate cut trajectory. Now, if the Fed is cutting rates, that of course means that the lending rates for banks will get reduced further, and banks across the world will then look for cutting rates as well. So there's a very crucial Fed meeting this week itself. We'll have to see how that moves, and it'll be important to see what Trump's stance on Fed's rate cut trajectory is going to be. Definitely inflation is one key thing that Donald Trump is going to look out for. But so far as the India partnership is concerned, several market experts have said that the markets will benefit if they see a Trump come back in power.